Ever feel like you're always running but never actually getting anywhere? It's like life's on fast forward, but you're still stuck on pause. You're not burned out because you're doing too little. You're burned out because you can't stop chasing what everyone else is doing. That's the part no one tells you about. FOMO, the fear of missing out. And it's not just another buzzword. It's the sneaky little engine behind your exhaustion, rewiring your brain to stay in overdrive, even when you're trying to rest. It's one of the most powerful, invisible forces quietly draining your focus, your energy, and your sense of peace. And the worst part, you probably don't even notice it happening. Because the hard reality is, FOMO doesn't just make you tired, it makes you burn out. But the good news, once you understand what FOMO is really doing to your brain, you can flip it and use that same energy to focus, rebuild, and finally get ahead without burning out. By the end of this video, you'll know how to stop FOMO before it burns you out. And it starts with understanding the one pattern your mind keeps repeating every single day. But how does something as simple as the fear of missing out turn into full-blown exhaustion? Maybe this sounds familiar. From the moment you wake up, you grab your phone, and before you've even had breakfast, you're already comparing. You haven't even started your day yet, and somehow you already feel behind. Someone's traveling to an exotic place, someone else just launched a new project, a friend is working out at 5 a.m. while you're just trying to make it out of bed 10 minutes before you have to be out the door by 8. That feeling, that subtle tension in your chest, it's not motivation. It's anxiety disguised as ambition. It whispers, "You're not doing enough." And the worst part, you tell yourself, "I just need to catch up." So you say yes to everything, every opportunity, every idea, every invite. You keep adding to your plate until you're too exhausted to enjoy any of it. You don't realize it, but every time you try to keep up with someone else, you fall a little further behind yourself. And that's exactly why I wrote Break Free from Burnout. It's designed to help you recognize these hidden patterns before they spiral and to rebuild your focus, energy, and confidence one small shift at a time. If you're the kind of person who's tired of running on empty, but still wants to grow without burning out, you'll fit right in here. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We're building a community that values progress, not pressure. Because here's the catch. FOMO doesn't always look like comparison. Sometimes it hides behind ambition. Sound familiar? That's because FOMO hides behind productivity, and that's what makes it dangerous. We think FOMO means we're passionate, that it pushes us to grow. But let's be honest, there's a fine line between growth and overload. And what it really does is scatter our attention. You're not growing. You're stretching yourself so thin, nothing gets your full energy. You're busy, but not fulfilled. Productive, but not present. FOMO makes you believe that saying yes to everything will make you feel fulfilled. But in reality, every yes is a quiet no to something that actually matters. Your rest, your health, your clarity. And every quiet no chips away at who you are until there's nothing left but motion without meaning. And that's when burnout sneaks in. Not with a crash, but with a quiet fading of focus. So when you finally crash, you don't just feel tired. You feel disconnected. Because burnout isn't just about exhaustion. It's about losing the ability to tell what's important anymore. It's when your mind goes numb, not because you don't care, but because you cared for too long. You're probably not lazy. You've just lost in a constant chase that doesn't end. You're not missing out on life. Life is missing you. And here's some more good news. Once you can see the pattern, you can break it. Let's flip how you see this. Because maybe the problem isn't that you have FOMO. Maybe it's that you've been using it the wrong way. Because FOMO isn't just fear of missing out. It's focus outward momentum overload. Every time you focus outward on what everyone else is doing, your brain releases a hit of urgency. That's dopamine chasing, not purpose building. It feels productive, but it's really panic disguised as progress. And when that happens all day, every day, you never feel caught up because you never stop running. You're sprinting through a marathon you never trained for. You don't need more momentum, you need direction. And that direction starts with a single habit shift. Here's a small shift that can change everything. Create a yes budget. Think of it as a filter for your focus. Every week, decide how many things you're truly willing to say yes to. New commitments, events, even ideas. Because every yes spends energy. And energy is your most limited resource. When you hit your limit, every no after that becomes a gift of focus. It's a way of protecting your energy before burnout demands it. Because if your schedule is full, but your soul feels empty, that's not success. That's survival. And survival isn't the goal. Alignment is. So pause for a second and ask yourself, what have I been saying yes to that's draining me more than it's driving me? This is where real recovery starts, and it leads directly to how you take back your mornings. And once you see that clearly, you're ready for the next step. Using FOMO to fuel your focus instead of feeding your fatigue. But here's the twist. Not all FOMO is bad, because sometimes the same energy that burns you out can be the spark that wakes you up. Because what if you could use that same restless energy that keeps you up at night to actually wake you up in the morning? Understanding burnout is the first step. Rebuilding from it is the second. Remember, you don't have to keep chasing everything to prove your worth. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to say no and finally make space for yourself. And that space, that's where peace, purpose, and the real you come back to life. In this next video, I'll show you how to turn FOMO into fuel and use it to stop oversleeping, rebuild your momentum, and start winning your mornings again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.